Okay, welcome to this week's dose of motivation. Last week I was talking about getting still, and it reminded me of another idea, which is doing things alone. When was the last time you did things by yourself? Like went to a museum or went to a movie or went out to dinner or took a vacation alone. You know, the times in my life that I've done things alone have been so extraordinarily impactful to my life. Things that are so simple. Like I remember years ago when I was traveling, studying abroad in Prague. That's like where I chose to study abroad during university. And I was supposed to go to this boat tour with all the group. And I missed the boat because I was late. And I was in this city all by myself. And I decided to take myself out to a fancy, well, as fancy as a 20 whatever with nothing in their bank account could afford, a fancy dinner. And that's the story for another time, but it ended up spiraling into one of the most memorable, crazy nights of my entire life. And this is the joy of finding real fun by yourself. And it's just such an important lesson. I also committed a couple of years ago so I mentioned in one of the episodes that we spend the summers in Spain. And so we go to this part of Spain that has a trail, a very long trail. It's called the Camino de Santiago. It's like a pilgrimage, like a religious pilgrimage, but obviously anyone can go do the trail, and it comes from you can walk from Portugal, from France. You can be on this trail for months on end, and it's really beautiful. So I committed to doing just 2 days of this trail, totally by myself. And to be honest, I went into the experience with this very busy mind. I'm oh wow, I'm going to really be enlightened. I actually ended up having in my ears a book, which is called Seat of the Soul by Gary Zukav, which is an Oprah recommended spiritual book, right? And I just primed myself for having this awakening, this spiritual awakening, right? Because I needed to be busy. But to be honest, the things that I remember from those 2 days were not what I was listening to or any of the conclusions I was coming to about life. It was really the sky and the landscape and just, again, touching plants and just walking alone, and the little nooks and crannies that I ran into along the trail. It was extraordinary. And so I don't do things like that very often. I don't create that situation for myself too often, but when I do, it's always so beneficial. So this Monday, I'm thinking for myself, and I invite you to do the same. What is something that you could do by yourself that's going to just be a moment for you to enjoy? Just enjoy life completely alone. Enjoy your own company, and not food shopping or roaming through Target, which is what I did last night. And to be honest, it didn't really fill my cup as much as I thought it would. I mean, it was very lovely, just to have a moment to myself, right? And a moment alone is always nice. But what is something that you can do that is something you're really interested in? Are you interested in learning about something? Are you interested in going somewhere that maybe, you would just love to be alone? A park, a museum, I don't know. But I think that there's something so precious and so beneficial about enjoying your own company, right? I think that in the end, the relationship that is the most important is the one that you have with yourself. Which actually, I say it I think. No, that is a true statement. And I'm sure the first person to say that was like a monk or something, but it is so true. And I feel like the older that I get and the more comfortable I become with who I am, the more I enjoy life in general. And so take yourself out on a date. What can you do this week that's going to be special just for you? All right. If you needed to hear this, or you know someone that needs to hear this, please send it to a friend or post it on social or whatever. It would mean so much to me if you spread the word about Monday Motivation. And I'll see you back here next week for your next dose.